Hello, it's Wednesday and we're back with another video. What are we doing today?
So the EFF just lost its deputy president.
Yo.
That was one of the big news stories that we didn't cover last week.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about it in this video.
Yes.
But let's just check out the clip first. And then you tell me what you think about it.
Shivambu resigning from the EFF. He's going to join the Umkhonto weSizwe party, along with Mzwanele Manyi and, according to Julius Malema, other as yet unidentified EFF members are also going to trek across the wilderness to find themselves in the MKP oasis. And I am struggling to understand why Floyd Shivambu would do that. News 24 reported earlier today that they had a source in the leadership of the EFF who told them that some wealthy businessmen had approached Floyd Shivambu and said, "Will you stand against Julius Malema for the leadership of the party in the upcoming elective conference?" And that Julius Malema heard about it, and there was a blazing row at the end of which Floyd Shivambu submitted his resignation. But I didn't see the entire news conference, but I did see a lot of it, and both Floyd Shivambu and Julius Malema were on the platform together. And there didn't seem to be any animus. There didn't seem to be any hostility between them. There really didn't. The body language was sadness for both of them.
So what are your thoughts on all of that?
Okay, so this is a very interesting move by Floyd. Let's start there. I don't think anybody anticipated this to happen because one would look at members like Floyd being like your diehards, EFF, loyal, members.
So for me, this is some interesting news. This came out of left field. This news just hit me, and I wasn't anticipating it. And I was as equally as shocked as everybody else. Even though I don't really follow or support the EFF like that, we always knew that Floyd is a diehard leader in the EFF. He's actually a co-founder as well. He co-founded EFF with Julius.
Yes.
So when he decided to leave, right, a co-founder of a political party, deciding to leave for another political party, that does not look good.
Yes.
That does not look good at all
Absolutely.
for the EFF. That does not look good at all for Julius.
Yes.
That says something about his leadership.
Yes, absolutely.
If his own deputy
Yes.
is willing to
abandons him.
Yes, is willing to leave the party that he co-founded
Yes.
for another party,
Yes.
that says something about Julius.
Hence, I'm saying that it's obvious that, Floyd was no longer, he was no longer in agreement with how Julius was moving. And I feel like he was compromising the party's values a lot. He was going off of whims a lot, and he makes his whims like, this is what the EFF is about every time. And I don't know how many times his contradictions have, of himself, have put the EFF in a very weird position.
So this whole thing was very funny to me because literally his resignation was announced, and then they had a press briefing shortly after that.
I've decided not to renew the membership of the EFF because I will join and participate in Umkhonto weSizwe party.
And then, literally right after the press conference, he changes his whole social media. He's now an MK
already.
He's putting the MK flag up, and he literally posted a tweet saying that this is the most sound decision that he's ever made. That kind of
so
stuff like that.
So that's what tells me that for me, I feel like that's a confirmation from him that the EFF is no longer what it was.
So Julius's whole demeanor during that whole press conference, he looked very sad.
Yes, he was sad, of course.
Yeah, he looked very sad. You could see it in his face that no, this Floyd leaving actually hurts. Yeah, it actually hurts him. And then he gives this heartfelt speech.
When he sent me a letter yesterday, I felt the same pain when I received the news of the passing away of my mother. Because Floyd, to me, is not just a comrade, he's a brother.
And then he also offers Floyd a hand back and saying that no, EFF doesn't have the policy of if somebody leaves for a political party,
Yes.
you can come back. But since Floyd is a founder of the party,
we're open to welcome you back.
we can welcome him back with open arms.
The constitution of the EFF does not allow people to resign and join other political parties and come back to the party. But I've made this offer to Floyd that the day you decide to come back, you are more than welcome, because you are not a member, you are a founder of this political party. So you are not our enemy, will never be your enemies. We'll continue to engage on different political and personal issues.
And he called Floyd his brother and all those kind of things like that. And it seemed like,
like obviously some guilt tripping business.
it seemed like a good breakup.
Yes.
It seemed like, okay, this is a mature breakup.
Yes.
And then literally after Floyd posts that this is the most sound decision ever.
Yeah.
Julius has another press conference.
Yes.
And
I will die.
Then now he's like, fuck Floyd.
Yes.
Everything that has to do with Floyd, with disbanding.
The GTU shall fall under the office of the president, and all powers that belong to the deputy president will go into the office of the president. And everything else that looks like the former deputy president shall be dismantled in the EFF and then gotten rid of with immediate effect. The GTU and all those who served in the GTU under the deputy president are dissolved. You want to deploy anyone into the government on behalf of the EFF, you shall report to the office of the president. We are taking charge of our organization now. We are tired of entrusting in the hands of wrong people. We've been betrayed for too long. We've been sold out for too long. We've been trusting for too long. We need to take it into our hands and run it ourselves.
It was just like how
What's happening? Yeah.
such a big contrast from
Yes.
one press conference to the next.
I'm supporting your decision.
Yeah, and then now, as soon as you get mad, this is one of my main issues with Julius. Like, there's no like seemingly emotional control
Yeah.
in situations.
Like,
it's either he's calm.
bipolar.
Yeah, it's like he's bipolar. It's either he's calm at one point,
Yeah.
and then at the next point he's
That's what, and you know, like he can be for something and then immediately totally against something the next day. Like,
he literally seems bipolar, because literally one press conference, a good goodbye, good relationship. You can see it, these people
Yeah.
actually love each other. The next conference, he's like, fuck
I
all
hate
of that.
you, nigga.
Fuck all of that. Niggas are traitors and all that kind of stuff like that.
And he sent me a letter yesterday. I felt the same pain when I received the news of the passing away of my mother. Because Floyd, to me, is not just a comrade, he's a brother.
We are tired of entrusting in the hands of wrong people. We've been betrayed for too long. We've been sold out for too long. We've been trusting for too long. We need to take it into our hands and run it ourselves.
And the energy was just so different. And to me, this is one of the main reasons why I'm like, I don't know how people
what kind of a leader
how
would
people
that
look at Julius
and see a leader,
and be like, this guy should be the president.
the president.
I don't see it.
I mean, he's a leader, but I don't see he could be good.
He's good for something.
Yeah.
He's good for being.
He does have leadership qualities, but I don't think
He's good for being like an opposition.
Yes.
He's good for checking the government and all of that stuff like that. But I don't understand how people see Julius and they're like, yeah, I want him to be president.
Yeah.
Knowing how his temperament changes all the time. And it's like, if this guy was to be given the power to negotiate with the US, to negotiate with Russia, to negotiate with China.
he goes on emotion like
Yeah.
this.
And then he doesn't get what he wants.
Yeah, and he gets angry like when he doesn't get what he wants, and you can't really have like a proper conversation with him.
So
It's just kind of
Julius's leadership is being put into question. He's looking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a good look for him. And Floyd leaving Floyd, who's considered
Like,
one of the most
it's,
loyal
it's
members
proving right, those people that say that.
for the EFF.
Yes.
It's showing that there's something that's wrong there. And I just want to ask the question to like the EFF supporters specifically, you diehard EFF supporters, the ones that are willing to vote for the EFF no matter what happens to them. Like, if your leaders are willing to leave, then what are you?
Yeah. But to them, it's going to be on some, no, let them leave, you know, like, they're betraying
The movement.
Yes. So they're going to be like, let them leave. Just like, you know, how people in certain churches will say, like, when, even no matter how their leader will be, they'll still be like, no, you're being tested. But so it's going to be like a similar dynamic.
So it's going to prove those who believe it's a cult even further that no matter what happens to the EFF,
yes,
the people
but
who follow
yeah,
the EFF will just
I think we've established that they don't really care about that, so it's fine.
It's so weird that Julius literally said he's consolidating all power into the presidency. So all power will be sitting with him, and people are cheering, like people are clapping their hands and being like, instead of actually like wondering like what does that actually mean? Because
So
this
do you
means like he
think-
could be a dictator or
Yes,
pushing towards that. Now the EFF, all power sits with him.
And all powers that belong to the deputy president will go into the office of the president. And everything else that looks like the former deputy president shall be dismantled in the EFF and then gotten rid of with immediate effect.
He's taking all the powers that the deputy president used to have, and now he's holding onto all of that.
he's the
So now he's like the main.
that's crazy
main-
business.
So the EFF members are literally clapping at that, and they're not seeing what is actually happening.
Yeah.
That's.
So they
that's
happy
insane.
for him about the absolute power situation.
It seems like it, yeah. So this further feeds into the narrative that this is a cult, and
Oh, spare me.
again, if your own leaders are willing to leave because they feel like the party is not doing what it's supposed to do,
Yeah.
why are you so blind or so blindly loyal? Why don't you want to critique and criticize?
Yes,
Why must you just accept everything that happens there?
absolutely.
That's the question I want to pose to you guys.
Absolutely.
So now it's like Julius is now gonna preside over the EFF unopposed by nobody for a while until he's able to get some sort of leader who's gonna succeed him and oppose him, like in the EFF conferences and stuff like that. But right now, Julius is gonna be president of EFF unopposed for a while, and I don't know how people see that as a healthy thing, but yeah, you guys just let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.